Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fantasy Couch Podcast. Today, we're talking Matt Nagy, rookie quarterbacks, perfect roster settings where people are screwing up when they draft because of roster settings. We're talking about the Throne League, the biggest Instagram fantasy football league ever. There's no league quite like this. You'll see what it's all about. We're talking DeAndre Swift. We had a pretty big debate there. Who's really the number 2 tight end? And before we all get into that, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of this podcast, Dark Mode or Night Mode, whatever you want to call it. This podcast is sponsored by Dark Mode. If you're using Light Mode, you send me a screenshot with Light Mode, I'm not even going to respond to it. Get that crap out of here. I don't want to see it. If you're like, should I start T. Higgins? Should I start Jamar Chase? Instead of giving you my answer, what the hell are you doing with 2 Bengals quarterbacks? You're hurting my head. I'm not even going to answer you. So get that crap out of here. Discord, put it on dark mode. Sleeper, put it on dark mode. iPhone, put it on dark mode. There's an invention, guys. It's called dark mode. Check it out.
A recent study shows that people who have light mode are 90% more likely to be sociopaths. That's a true.
Whoa.
Is this real?
No,
Sources, please.
Okay, I was gonna say we're gonna put our new producer to work.
Right? Believable though.
Oh yeah, I was like, wow, that's a fascinating fact.
You're right.
I'll get right on.
Be real. We don't even know that's not real.
We can't confirm nor deny it here.
Yeah.
But we can confirm that Matt Nagy has said that Andy Dalton is going to start. Justin Fields is the QB2. You guys think this is BS? You think this is coach speak? You think it's going to really happen week 1, Andy Dalton? Or if so, like how soon is it going to be Fields' team,
I think they promised him before the draft that he'd be the starter. So I think out of courtesy, they have to give him at least like one start.
They gave him a promise ring.
They gave him like a pinky promise, like, you're a starter, Andy. And then he's like, all right. But like he has to start one game at least. But then if he does bad, they can easily sub in Fields. If he does good, then that's good. Like they'll keep winning. So it's really a win-win for them. And I think that's how it will play out.
Yeah, I think it's only going to last for a couple weeks, if that. But you're looking at a veteran quarterback who can probably at least help Fields understand the playbook and understand different aspects of the offense. So a couple weeks in, and I think Fields has the starting job.
But all the reports out of camp, I just want to say, everyone's saying how great Fields is. So, like, all the reviews have been positive. So it's only a matter of time, right?
All reports have said that Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton.
Exactly. You don't even need reports.
Reporters would say
you don't even need reports, but it's
he's
just
him.
They made him a promise ring, so they have to do it.
Oh yeah. I don't know. So now we know this is basically breaking news that Andy Dalton started because he was promised. So honestly, I didn't even think of that. It was the most obvious, dumbest. It's like,
you know what I mean.
We do have a comment.
It's the number one reason he signed the contract. He's like, they told me I'd start and then move up and draft Fields, and he's like,
they didn't say how long you'd start though.
Let's read a comment from YouTube, guys. We got Red Nacho from YouTube. Let's show you guys the comment. It is Sushane, better known as the Red Nacho. As a Bears fan who wants him in week 1, I think Bears will wait till Thanksgiving to start him. I think he's referring to Fields. Front office wants to take it slow. What do you guys think?
Matt Nagy get fired before they cut the turkey, before they carve up the turkey. It's pretty epic what's going on in Chicago and then what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know. I think they should start him as soon as he's ready, which probably is like week 1.5. Remember when Deshaun Watson started like that? So about halftime.
Well, what's their schedule look like? Is it easy or is it tough? Like that's
I don't know what they play.
If it's a hard schedule, they'll probably put him in. You know what I mean?
Our new podcast member could probably bring up the Bears schedule.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull that up for you guys.
Let's just guess.
No, so we have a Bears schedule.
Week 1 and week 2 would be important.
That's most important.
Yep.
I don't know.
You guys that here.
I mean, it is what it is, but you gotta start Fields really soon. Like if unless you think he's a bust. Like
So
okay, they could win. They could win a lot of these games. They could win.
Week 1, let
4,
Dalton
2 through 5.
Let Dalton play week 1. That's against the Rams.
Yeah.
Week 2
he could play
Bengals.
From week 2 on. He could play. I feel like.
So that's the Bengals week 2, then the Browns, and the Lions, and the Raiders, and the Packers.
That's a great stretch.
Now we know the real reason. Actually, he doesn't want to play against the Rams and then have him internalize everything. He wants to play against the Bengals week 2. Easy.
Yeah, Andy, you go versus Aaron Donald. Like you handle that, and then I'll take. If he doesn't kill you, I'll step in week 2.
That looks like prime time too, guys. It says 5:20 p.m. Sunday
for a beating. Yeah.
So that could be a prime. Is that a prime time game? Looks like it. Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, that would be.
He might get like sacked by Donald and then just brought in at some point in week 1. Like that could happen
too.
That could easily happen.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But Nagy's on the hot seat. Everybody knows that. So he's got to go with the better quarterback. And if that proves to be Fields, you guys are right. He's going to go in soon.
There's some good comments here.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I'll read it. So we got Ellie Gaffin, and this is from YouTube. So as a Bears fan, Nagy is too much on the hot seat to not start Fields at least by week 4. So
true.
That's probably true. Next comment.
True.
Next comment. This guy.
I think Mac Jones.
This guy has to reveal his name.
We have Anonymous. I think Mac Jones starts before Justin Fields, but both get on the field by week 9.
For sure. 100%.
I think Cam could be really good. I think this is total bogus, especially when it's coming from an anonymous user. And I know it's not this person's fault because that's just how Facebook's set up with the privacy. But it's like no. Cam could be way better. Look, Cam last year he had the COVID, brand new team, and the worst receiving core. And he looked good for a couple games before the COVID. So I'm saying Mac Jones, just no way. They're not gonna rush him. No way. But the Bears, they got a chance to do something. This division could be wide open, especially if something happens to Rodgers. And even so, like they can beat the Vikings. The Lions are a joke. Like this isn't a team that's super far. I mean, they're far away from is a kicker. They got that, and then Matt Nagy and a quarterback. And if they can get over the coach and the quarterback position, they can win it.
I'm going to zag on that. I think Mac Jones is a lot better than Cam Newton, and his accuracy is way better. And I've seen a lot of training camp footage of them both, and I don't know. I think Mac Jones will be starting sooner than people think, and I'm actually starting to become a Mac Jones truther again. And I think he's definitely the quarterback of the future for the Patriots. He'll be in there sooner than later.
That's
just so you guys know, we have another Facebook user who is confirming the thought that week 4 at home versus the Lions will have a Justin Fields sighting. So
over under
pretty much a consensus.
That's the over under, I guess, is becoming week 4 now. What about what about the Niners? Is there anything that we got to say in there? Because I don't know who's starting week 1.
I think it's definitely going to be Jimmy, but Jimmy, I think, is going to get hurt. Like, it's inevitable at some point. And as soon as he gets hurt, that's when Lance can take over. I don't know when that will be, but it will happen at some point.
So, in our Superflex Dynasty League, I'm rebuilding. I drafted Tua in that league, and I posted if there was any hope for me. And I'm starting to get a lot more confidence now. And I think there is hope for Tua, because last year it was Fitzpatrick's team and the QB situation was handled weirdly. Now they've got him more weapons. The Dolphins are a good team, and I'd say there's a realistic shot. There's a really good chance Tua can take a huge leap this year. I hope he does, and he might not, but I think there's a good shot. And I know, Mike, we talked about this a little bit about how, you think Tua has a legit shot, but I mean, there's hope, right? There's hope for my team and there's hope for Tua.
I think what helps him a lot is getting Jalen Waddle in the draft. Since they were Alabama teammates, they already have that built-in connection. He's a big play threat, so that should help him, especially, in the event that Will Fuller gets injured, which he probably will. Waddle will become the number one target, so that's a good sign. He's very explosive, but I think he's not going to take a huge leap, but he will take a big enough leap to where people will, respect the fact that he's the starter, and they're not going to look for someone to replace him in the next year.
Let's talk about a Facebook user who has a comment. Tua will start off bad, but he'll be top 12 after week 5. How do we feel about that?
I agree with that. Wait, I don't know about top 12, maybe top 15. Top 12 is a little high. But,
I neither agree nor disagree. Just an interesting tidbit this guy said. It is.
I like the prospect of Tua, but we just haven't seen it all come together. So I'm just not going to be a truther until it's on the field.
He has way more weapons, though. We can all agree, right? Like he has a bunch of weapons.
Well, and it's his team this year.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to. There's a lot. There's like 20 good quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Including Jimmy G. Jimmy G's into that average good tier when he's healthy. So it's like. And I'm not saying Jimmy G is great, but I'm just saying there's a lot of them, and then there's like at least 19 quarterbacks better than Jimmy G. So
we got Amar from, it looks like YouTube, logging in, and he also feels confident in Tua. Let's see another comment from Facebook, though. You guys should address this one. So, thoughts on Jordan Love if Rodgers doesn't play? Now, I kind of know Brain's
sucks. It's trash. Get out of here. That's garbage. They're gonna crumble like they've always done when Rodgers misses games. Like he is the franchise. There's a reason why none of the wide receivers showed up to camp. Like they're like, whatever. We don't have a quarterback. I'm not showing up. Everything's gonna suffer with this. This whole team is going to suck. Like it's gonna take a huge step back. They're not even gonna be able to run the ball as well. Like it's not gonna. It's so much different when you're defending a team with Aaron Rodgers. Changes the whole game. Everything. What happens when our Niners are beating them up? There's a little bit of fear in us that Rodgers might be able to throw 4 touchdowns and come back. When Mostert is running 220 yards up the middle, Jordan, we're not scared of Jordan. We won the game. There's no little bit of fear in us. It's over, and you're gonna need that. That's the thing. It's not easy to win. Only thing that matters is winning a Super Bowl, and to us, of course, fantasy, and that's it. They're not gonna win any of the tough games. They're just gonna suck.
Who would you rather have in Dynasty, though, Brain? Would you rather have Love or Tua? Knowing what
Tua,
you know.
What are you talking about?
But what if Rodgers left? Then what?
Tua.
You still have
one.
I
sent you a first-round pick with Jordan Love.
Ooh.
Jordan Love, first-round pick.
I can't do it. I can't.
Tua.
I can't pull the trigger. Sorry.
Okay. Well, we have another.
I think Jordan Love will be better than people think.
We'll see.
Well, let's talk about a YouTube comment. Rather be out fishing, excuse me. Tua going to rebound hard. People don't realize that Waddle is going to do what Waddle is going to do for that offense.
Well,
I like Waddle's explosiveness. Catch it in space. Let this man run it up and down the sidelines.
We got to keep these comments moving. We need to go faster.
We got IG Bob from YouTube saying if Rodgers is gone, then Adams is gone after this season. I can agree with that.
Probably. All right, I want to talk about. Let's get rid of this comment.
We got one more. I'm excited to see Hurts and Smith. Says our.
So am I.
I'm very excited to see Devontae Smith as well.
Me too.
So let's get back to our regular scheduled program.
Yeah. So there's one thing I've been noticing when doing mock drafts and drafting against the computer and whatnot, and also I've been in a lot of super flex leagues. It's that people are drafting wrong and not valuing positions correctly. Nowadays, when you got 3 wide receivers, you really need to worry about getting a good wide receiver, or find that sweet spot where you can draft decent wide receivers and get the quantity. Because if you're winning the tight end battle, you're winning the QB battle, and you're winning the wide receiver battle, you should win most of your games. Like I don't see any reason why you wouldn't win most of your matchups in these type of situations. So when you got wide receivers and people are drafting running backs early, I think it's a mistake. I think you gotta zig when they zag. I think you gotta worry about quarterbacks. And it's the same exact thing in Superflex. A lot of Superflex leagues. Now I know some people that are listening right now have been playing Superflex for several years, and this does not apply to your league. But I've seen it. I read your guys' comments when we had our Superflex Dynasty draft. You can't let these quarterbacks slip too much in Superflex. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those teams who's not going to start a quarterback in your Superflex spot. One little injury happens, you might not have a quarterback. You don't want to be that team. Like you really do need a quarterback. And what do we draft on? Based on positional scarcity. And the only thing that makes a position scarce is how other people draft and roster other positions. What all that means is all that mumbo jumbo. If that make any sense, all that means is if 13 running backs go the first 14 picks, that means that running backs are scarce. But if you're in a super flex and 4 quarterbacks go and you're still in the first round, watch out. That means that quarterbacks are scarce. Same thing with wide receivers. If you're on I draft Christian McCaffrey, right? And I'm seeing the biggest, most epic wide receiver run. I know that wide receivers are scarce. So I got to decide, do I punt? That's what you got to know. You just got to know what's up. That's all this is about, is being aware. There's no one way to skin it. I'm not saying you have to draft a wide receiver early. You just got to be aware. Don't be stubborn. Be willing to learn. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm willing to learn. I would always go RB heavy in 3 wide receiver. But you might get in that one league where you don't get a wide receiver. You have no wide receiver 2 to start, no wide receiver 3 to start. It's PPR. Who you're starting at flex? All your running backs are hurt. We already know half the running backs are going to get hurt.
Yeah, someone like that. You wouldn't want that.
Like, yeah, you're going to lose that week. If you got Christian Kirk in your flex, you're going to lose. It should be Rondell Moore, but hey, another
I'm just giving you.
Yeah. All those little rush attempts by Kyler Murray, that's gonna go to Rondell Moore. You guys will see. He's gonna have a little bit of value this year in redraft. I like him, but in Dynasty, it could be a huge boost year 2. So what the heck am I talking about? Oh yeah, just know your roster settings. If it's super flex, be aware. Don't just be stuck in your lane. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Be ready to pivot. Be ready to zig and zag. What makes a position scarce is the 11 other guys in your league, the 9 other guys in your league. That's the only thing that makes a position scarce. So hopefully that made some sense. And that, I don't know.
Well, do you have a couple examples? Maybe think of a couple running backs or a couple wide receivers that you would think that you're high on that will go later in a draft. My point of view would be I personally like Paris Campbell a lot. You can get him later in the draft, and I think he could be a decent flex for you.
That's a flyer, though. That's a flyer. You don't know if he's going to pan out. I've heard that same line last year. So you're stuck without a wide receiver 3. That's not the point. That was not the point of the whole combo. It was you talking about picking a crappy player at the end and then losing. That's not what you want to do. Well, so in this
talking
case,
about scarcity, positional scarcity is the topic.
Talking about not pooping in the seat that you're sitting in because it's 3 wide receivers. You don't have a wide receiver. Basically doing what I did in our draft. And, I would say I got unlucky with my quarterbacks. I don't think it was dumb, but maybe I should have drafted freaking wide receiver earlier as well. So that was probably a mistake on my part. That's what I'm talking about. So who do I like? I can kind of answer what Drew was saying. So if you don't get let's say wide receiver early, there's a stud. There's the top tier guys, whether that tier ends with AJ Brown, Mike Thomas, or Keenan Allen, or earlier, that's up to you. But anyone above that, that's like the first tier or 2. So that would be like a Diggs, Adams, Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, Jefferson, DK, those guys. So if you miss out on one of those guys, you got to know, you got to get that next couple tiers. You got to attack that soon, because you might miss out on them, especially in a snake draft. So, guys like Devontae Smith, if he falls, I'm targeting Devontae Smith in a lot of my redrafts. He just never really falls to where I want him. That it sucks. He's going super early round 6 or something, when I would love him late round 6 or early round 7. So I don't know. But T. Higgins, that's another like beautiful one right there.
One.
Everyone's going Chase. Why not get Higgins? They're going to be very similar in production. Let's say Chase starts out slow and then he blows up. But at the end of the day, they might end up with the same exact numbers. So you can get Higgins like 20 picks later. So you just gotta. That's all I'm saying. Like you gotta know what you gotta do, or get you a stud. You can go 2 stud wide receivers in the beginning. And zig when they zag.
I feel like the 2 wide receiver strategy never works out. In my experience, it usually never works out. But I could be wrong. The running back strategy is usually the one that wins.
I've never done two wide receiver, but
I've done it. It doesn't work.
I think theoretically. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Mike. Those 2's got to hit.
Yeah, they have to both hit. Like I drafted Michael Thomas and Mike Evans. Michael Thomas, what happened to him last year. So that ruined my whole team just from drafting Michael Thomas. That.
Yeah, well, I ruined my whole team just by drafting Michael Thomas. Period. So yeah, I think that was more on Mike Thomas because I never tried it, but theoretically, I really do think it can work in a 3 wide receiver full PPR league where everyone's going running back. So now, your starting running backs are going to be a guy like Montgomery, Gaskin, ETN, Clyde Edwards. I'm not even talking about 0 RB, but I'm just giving you some other names. You can still get one good wide receiver and then punt.
Good examples.
Running back too. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it can work. Like, obviously it's got to hit.
It has to hit.
I'm not even saying though, dude, go 2 elite wide receivers early. Like I never done it. I probably won't. But I think it can work, especially like I said, 3 wide receiver, full PPR with flex. That means you want to start 4 wide receivers. And if you do somehow find 4 stud wide receivers, like even if your 4th one, let's say it was Cole Beasley last year, that's pretty dang good.
Right.
PPR I think that's a good strategy. Yeah, and you got the QB on lock. You got a QB like Herbert or Tannehill. You got a tight end that's legit, like a Hawkinson or something. I think you're gonna win almost all your games.
These are good examples. That's why I asked you the question. I just want to give you the listeners, or have you give
quantify it, like put it in, give them a visual. Yeah,
we need context.
Yeah, we need context.
Well, why don't we go on to our next topic, if you guys don't mind? I want to bring up this gentleman here.
We'll bring up the throne draft.
Yeah,
you got it. Let's do that. So give me a second. I got this live.
The reason why we're about to talk about Swift is because you got your cursor. Yeah, put your cursor on the 3.2 right there.
You got it.
So that's wrong. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So that's where we were picking right there, the 3.2, and we were deciding basically. Mike Thomas was in the conversation, but we were really deciding between Waller and DeAndre Swift, and a member of our Discord, Couch Captain Royal, wrote an essay about DeAndre Swift.
It was good.
Yeah, he swayed me as far as recognizing Swift's upside. It was a great essay, but I still wouldn't pull the trigger because I know the downside. And, one good thing for DeAndre Swift, the depth chart. Like there's not much competition other than Jamal Williams, who's a good running back, but not that good. He's not great. He's okay. I just don't trust a team like the Lions. I have a strong gut feeling you're going to get screwed if you draft too many Lions. And it could be one, could be too many in this case. I just have that gut feeling, whether it might be touchdowns, whether it might be, just something happening where they're in a blowout and then they're just putting another running back in, or they're signing another running back. Like, Gurley. I just don't know. I'm not even scared of Gurley, but it could be Gurley. It could be. It's just so hard to trust a line. So right now we're at 3.07. This is an acceptable spot to draft Swift, I feel like. I cannot take him like top 25-ish, probably not even top 30. But after that, late round 3, I'm down to take Swift. I like Swift more than Miles Sanders.
Well, Mike was really bullish on Waller. Could you give us your insight on that, Mike?
Well, like I was saying in Discord, tight end, the tight end is the difference maker, in my opinion, when it comes to fantasy championships. Like if you look at, I always study like who wins the championship, what kind of team composition they have. And last year, the team that would be in the finals most often had either Kelsey or like a really good tight end. You know what I mean? Because that's just the difference maker. It's like the queen piece, Also, like the reason why I don't like Swift is because like the Lions, like Hussein said, I just don't trust their running game. They haven't had a running game since Barry Sanders. So what makes you think they're going to have a running game all of a sudden like this year? I mean, he is a talented player, but the more sure thing is Darren Waller, and he's one of 3 to 4 elite tight ends that can make a difference and win you the championship. So why not take care of that need? So now we have great balance. We have Cook, one of the top running backs, DK, one of the top receivers, and Waller, one of the top tight ends. So now after that, it doesn't matter how you want to, fill out the rest of your roster, but at least you don't have to worry about tight end anymore. You can just, focus on running backs or focus on receivers. So that's how I look at it. But I think we made the right choice.
Do we want to bring up the fact that DK Metcalf fell to us? That's amazing.
That was amazing.
That was a big shock. Well, I just wanted to add what Mike said was like, sure. I want to say that we don't need to put running backs on a pedestal all the time.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a league, just like every one of your guys' leagues, where it's going to be a tight end crapshoot. And, two of them are going to hit, 3 of them are going to hit, whatever. But it's always changing every year. Last year we drafted Mark Andrews. We won this league barely. It was rough.
There you go.
That
Mark
was
Andrews.
Yeah, but he wasn't that good. Actually, you're missing the nose.
But he's still an elite tight end, though. If you didn't have him, you might not have won. You know what I mean?
He did help us win towards the end, but
right.
I mean, I'm saying that it's hard to predict that type of stuff. I mean, yeah, we could have, played the roulette. Actually, the one prediction that I like absolutely nailed, and I almost forgot till last week, was Evan Ingram. I was like, don't draft this guy, because Evan Ingram was going 1.5 rounds after Mark. You know what I mean? He's going like 1 round after Mark.
That's a huge drop. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you draft Evan Ingram, you 100% lost your league. Mike's talking about team composition. Yeah. All winning teams have a top 6 tight end, usually top 5 in a 12 team, top 5-ish, sometimes top 6, but top 5. It's all like always. Like I've seen one team that didn't have a top 5 tight end and win. And I'm in a lot of leagues. Like I'll tell you that, a lot of leagues.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a tight end. We paid a pretty penny, but after we like, what the hell's going on? It's a 3 wide receiver league. Metcalf is going 15th overall, usually, and he falls 23 overall to us. And I was shocked. And then I was even more shocked that this uproar, this riot started in our Discord for picking any other player other than Metcalf. And I was like, what's going on? How is this vote even like in the same? I thought it was going to be like 50-2 Metcalf. And it was like, it started out like 15-9. And then it just kept going. Like, so Metcalf won by a landslide. And to be fair, we did the vote early while Gibson was still on the board. And at least 1 or 2 people only wanted Gibson. So they turned to the Metcalf side, obviously after that automatically. But I was shocked at both things. I don't know how Metcalf falls. By the way, I moved up Metcalf 1 spot ahead of Jefferson on the rankings.
Oh, okay.
After the Julio trade happened, like my mind settled. Like that was such a big like thing in my head that I was just so scared of that. Now that Julio's not on the Seahawks, I like Metcalf just a millimeter ahead of Jefferson on my rankings. I absolutely love both.
That's fair. That's fair.
I got a couple things.
Oh my God. We got him at 2.11. Dalvin Cook, DK Metcalf, Darren Waller. We're probably not going quarterback next, but
Are we willing to answer this question is my question. So Mr. Sushane, also known as the Red Nacho from YouTube, has said, who has the worst start so far? And I'm sure this is in reference to the throne.
So you got to be quicker with the names. We got these. You're putting these comments on a pedestal. All right. You got to know that they are commenters. You can't be like Sushane III, Prince of England, formerly known as. Watch this.
Okay, I got something for you, better.
Nacho says, "Who's the worst team so far?" Do we dare answer?
Aaron Jones Mixon.
Yeah.
Done.
Next question.
Next.
Aaron
Jones
do we dare address
That's
this
how
meme?
fast. That's how fast it goes. No, we're actually.
Do we dare go back and address this meme that I found here involving Evan Ingram?
It's a great meme. It's an epic meme. It's very good. It's very well done.
And okay, we'll get back to.
I posted it twice. I don't know what else.
Thanksgiving.
Everyone knows Ingram sucks. Look at his 80.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? I actually like drafting Evan Ingram this year. Because
to be funny or
no, he's going. Okay. He doesn't go anywhere before round 11, 12. Like never. So I'm getting as my tight end too.
It's like a flyer.
Yeah, like so.
High
so
upside
in
flyer.
This case, we got Waller. So it's safe to say we're probably not drafting tight end anytime soon. But if Waller does fall 2 rounds, it's round 13. Sorry, Ingram falls 2 rounds. I'll draft him in round 13. Think about Evan Ingram as your tight end too. Last year he was tight end 7. These people looking up as like, oh my god, look at like people are stupid. They're not drafting him. I'm getting like he's still gonna get targets. He's still gonna play.
Yeah.
Now he might not hold on to the ball. I recognize that, but that's why I don't even want to start things. It's my tight end too. He's a backup. He's Irv Smith. Irv Smith Ingram go like who are we gonna take? Irv Smith. Imagine that. I don't know. I probably go Irv Smith. Yeah, go Irv Smith.
And what about these 2 tight ends? We have Waller versus
speaking
Kittle.
of tight ends,
Waller versus
segue.
Kittle.
Baby.
Segue.
So let's start off with this. Kelsey's the tight end 1. Look, there's always a chance something happens, someone falls. Is he really like tight end 1, like tier 1 of 1, and you got no doubt that he's gonna absolutely dominate, or is there's something where it's like someone might replace him in the fantasy rankings or come so close that it's questionable? He is a year older. He still has Patrick Mahomes, and he's amazing still. But is there any doubt with Kelsey?
Talking about Kelsey or Kittle?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Tight end 1. Because we're looking at the tight end.
No, there's no doubt about that. Come on now.
Anyone can fall at any time. Remember every year we're talking about Gronk and Jimmy Graham, but you know that actually only lasted like 3 years. That's pretty short. At 4 at most. Like that really only lasted like 3-4 years. Gronk and Graham, the best tight ends in fantasy football ever. Like, I guess kind of like Gates and Tony G, I guess, in a way. But I mean, those guys put up monster numbers that ended pretty quick. You never know what's gonna happen. So,
I personally would take Waller and Kittle versus Kelsey. If I could take the field against Kelsey, I would take the field.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay. I think if Kittle stays healthy, he's the best tight end, but that's only if he can stay healthy.
Kittle?
What about if Trey Lance is in there? What do you think now?
Kittle in real life is the best tight end. In fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, in fantasy? Oh,
yeah. No, it's hard.
Okay.
We got a comment from this.
To be fair, we didn't make it clear.
Yeah, I don't.
I've been arguing about this for 2 months, so that's why in my mind I knew we were talking about fantasy. Like,
yeah, I think it could be Darren Waller in fantasy this year, but
so we got a comment saying Kelsey's been going strong from IG Big Bob from YouTube. Kelsey has been going strong for like 4 or 5 years straight as the TE1.
His time is up.
But the field,
that sounds like Antonio Brown. No, I don't know. I'm just comparing somebody. Like, he's great. But look, there's talks of he might get rested a little bit, just a little bit. Like I could be talking about 1 game or something.
How old is Kelsey? Just to
look that
31.
Up, Drew. 31.
That's it.
That's not old at all.
We had the same exact.
We did this like 2 weeks ago. So I think we have Kittle at 27. We have Waller at
Kittle's
29.
the youngest. Kittle's the youngest.
Yeah, Waller's
28 going on 29.
I think he just turned 29.
Kelsey's a young 31.
Kelsey's just fine. 31. Yeah, he's 31.
He's a young 31. I thought he was older for some reason.
Yeah,
so maybe he is the tight end.
Yeah, he should be just fine.
Maybe he is a tight end.
Also has Andy Reid and Mahomes. Like that's always a good combo for offense.
When's Pitts gonna crack the top 3, huh?
Hey,
how long does that take?
That's another topic. Right. I mean, he can always do that. Like, what's the thing? He's had 0 snaps. In the throne league, I think he's gonna go round 4. Might go round 5.
That's a good one to late round, not late round, but just undervalued maybe.
We're so the whole tight end thing that we were going to talk about is Waller versus Kittle. So basically, I got Kelsey as my tight end 1, and I guess he could be overthrown, but I guess he is the tight end 1 for sure. But tight end 2 on my rankings, and I strongly stand by this, is Darren Waller, and then George Kittle. Most people probably have George Kittle number 2, but I'm looking at a team that's going to throw the ball a lot to Waller. I'm looking at a team with the bad defense. I'm talking about the Raiders.
Horrible defense.
Horrible defense. I'm talking about a team that really, I mean, whatever you might think about their quarterback, we saw Marcus Mariota and Waller dominate. So he can do it just like Megatron, who did a pretty good job with any quarterback. The Lions were at their 3rd string quarterback one day. And, still Megatron. Like, you still have to guard that guy. I can probably throw a couple lobs to Megatron. He'll catch it. It's just that good. And that's who Darren Waller is. He's a big dude. Kittle, one of my favorite players, but he's going to be run blocking a lot. Niners got a great defense. And, I hate to say, I don't, but if we're comparing the two, one hasn't missed any games and one has missed a lot of games. And you got to factor that in.
Speaking of missing games, we have a comment from Mr. IG Big Bob again saying the only major injury was his rookie season.
Sounds like a jinx to me. Don't do that.
There we go.
Sounds like a jinx comment.
I'm taking the field. Taking the field.
Yeah, great Kelsey's idea. Been extremely durable for sure. Like he's been great. So we'll see. We'll see what's up. What do you guys stand on?
You'll never regret drafting Kelsey in fantasy, though. Usually, if you draft Kelsey, you're never going to regret it.
Well, actually, now here's the thing. I want to bring up Odell. So watch this.
Okay.
I mean, actually, now here's the thing: is like there's a price tag for everybody, but now Kelsey's price tag is actually very high. And I'm not scared to draft him if I'm in a snake and I get those picks I don't like pick 12 or 11, and Kelsey's there. I'll take them.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's a much higher price tag than before when he was going 11 picks later. So he was going 2.10 last year. Now he's going 1.10. It's a big it's not something we can just brush. That's paying twice as much. So that's there. So Odell Beckham's another guy who just I want to draft him because of his price. Round 8. I got to take Odell. So that's the thing I'm worried about with Kelsey is his price tag. But like I said, there's just so many wishy-washy options at the end of the first that I'll still take him.
Speaking of Royale, he's here with a comment. Swift going a lot later than Sanders was last year, to be fair. And he even added IG Big Bob. My boys, they're doing it in the comments.
Swift? What is this? What is he even talking about? I don't even understand what he's talking about.
Sanders was a first-round pick. He's what he's saying last year.
Miles Sanders.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
We have another comment.
I hate Miles Sanders. I don't understand his point.
It's okay. Move on.
He's saying that Swift is sexy? I don't even get it.
I have Kelsey Kittle in a tier ahead of Waller. Your future QB is a huge X factor, but who knows when he plays this season? And that's talking about Trey Lance.
So Trey Lance isn't going to directly throw the ball to Kittle better, but he could make the offense way more dynamic and make it pretty much impossible to defend. So I do see the point there, but then again, this is another stud guy. First time I finally won the couch league was Kelsey's breakout year. I had him. Quarterback was Alex Smith. Kelsey was great with Alex Smith.
Not bad.
He was incredible with Alex Smith. And that's when Kelsey wasn't even that. This was a breakout year. He's way better now. So I'm saying Kittle is didn't Kittle do great with, was it Nick Mullins or Beathard? One of them. He did great with, he did even better with that quarterback. So I don't really, I don't see
Nick Mullins. He had 180 yards in the first half, if I remember correctly.
With Nick Mullins. Yeah. So the point I'm making is more so like there's too many factors involved. And yeah, Trey Lance could just help the whole offense go more. But that direct, just one factor, one variable, direct link between Trey Lance and Kittle, totally unproven, totally unknown. Maybe he hurts Kittle. Maybe Trey Lance has 17 rushing touchdowns. It's pretty wild, but if he does, that'll probably hurt Kittle. I'm just saying, we don't know. It's too many variables there. But Trey Lance could be hot fire. I do like it. We'll see. Any more comments?
He will be.
Nope, that's it for now. We had another one saying he was referring to an earlier comment, just clarifying. So you had another question I think you were going to bring up, though, Brain.
No, I don't know. What?
I was trying to jog your memory. You were about to bring up something before we cut you off earlier.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's all right.
What are you talking? You got to tell me what it is. You think I remember anything? What are you talking about? I don't remember. Lions suck. That's it. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Look, don't be scared, all right? It could be cringy, but I'm trying to get to 1,000K. What are we at right now, boys? Look
1,000K or 100K?
No, sorry, 1K.
I was like, what?
I misspoke.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up the TikTok right now.
Over 100. Over 100 followers the past 2 days. I'm trying to get to 1K. We're going viral, baby. Let's go. Follow me on TikTok. At Fantasy Couch. That way I can go live. It's my dream. Been posting a lot of good Throne content as well on Instagram. So for those that don't know, the Throne League is where the followers, my followers, we as a community make all the picks. So definitely, if you haven't been in it this year, I suggest you be in it next year. But it's an awesome league, man. And we take it very seriously. We're very glad to be on there. You got to bring it in, Drew.
Yeah, it's looking really bad on this side.
What are you talking? What is he there? That's all you got to do. What are you talking about? It's fine.
Okay, just make that whole. Yeah, no worries.
It's TikTok. TikTok looks like crap as it is. Look at that.
It threw me off. I didn't want to throw something up that wasn't kosher.
I get it. No, it's fine. It's not. It's just at Fantasy Couch. Follow me on TikTok, everybody. All right, we're gonna end it here. Drew, end the podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in live. Peace.
Right on. Take care, guys.